Welcome to the Wealth Transfer with TC. Today, I'm going to talk about your alternatives to what's happening with Coinbase and your buy and sell limit orders, not being able to put them outside of the percentages that they have recently set. So I'm going to discuss some alternatives and give you guys some things to think about as far as moving forward with your overall plan. Now, first, before I get into this, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just sharing information, giving you my thoughts and my opinions on that information. If you guys like these videos that I make, the support links are down below in the description and the comment section. Right, so the majority of my orders on Coinbase were canceled, as many others. I think some people have said that some of them have been canceled, but I think they've been kind of doing it slowly instead of doing it all at once. But one of the things is, folks, is I put out a video asking people to contact Coinbase. So if you watched that video or saw it and you did not complain, you don't really have a right to complain about what's going on, because it's very important that people hear your voice. There's a difference between 300 people saying something than 3,000 people saying something. But hopefully in the future they will change their mind, because it's kind of ridiculous that what if Shiba Inu drops a zero within 24 hours? Right? I want to be able to set up that sell limit order. It can happen, so why restrict my ability to do that? So some of the different options I'm just going to discuss really quick. The first one is Kraken. Then your next option is Gemini, and there's no restrictions as far as I know. And then also Bitstamp. Now Bitstamp, you can't place your low buy limit orders as low or high, but I will say this, that I was able to get Bitcoin in a low buy limit order for $1. So I have some orders there. And then I have other orders for other cryptocurrencies. And I'm not just focused so much on Bitcoin or Ethereum, because there's at least 10 to 15 to 20 cryptocurrencies that in an event of a flash crash, you'll do very well on anyway. And that's part of the whole purpose, right? To take advantage of those flash crashes. All flash crashes don't all result in going to zero necessarily too as well. So that's something to think about when you are trading here in the future, and we're expecting a lot of volatility, right? So if XRP is sitting at 270, for all we know, within a 2-hour period, it could drop down to $1.35, and we've seen that. So people have talked about signing up for Caleb and Brown. You can do that, but I know that they have high fees, and if your orders do kick off, or your overall fees for trading are high anyway. But there is an alternative, especially like if you know how to navigate VPN and you know how to navigate different crypto platforms. You could just get the Palau ID. It's $248. And once you do that, then you can sign up with a lot of the different top cryptocurrency platforms that are outside of the United States. Right? You have OKX and BitGet and KuCoin, MEXC, Bitfinex, Gate.io, Bitmart. So those are some of the ones that you would want to sign up for if you're just concerned about low buy limit orders or sell high limit orders, and if you think it's worth the amount of money. Not everybody can afford that. So for those of you who can't, you just have those three options: Kraken, Gemini, and Bitstamp when it comes to really low buy limit orders. Now, from the information that I've seen, you can sign up with a Palau ID and then use that ID in order to access those exchanges, and that's pretty much it. For some people, it might be worth it instead of using a broker that charges, high fees. And that could be for somebody else. Somebody might say, you know what, I want somebody else to take care of everything. So that for those people who want to do that, that is an option. If you guys look at the flash crash from 2011, it didn't happen instantly. Okay, it was a matter of minutes. So there are two different types of flash crashes. There is a fast flash crash where it happens instantly, and then you have the ones that over time. And if you guys saw that when XRP was sitting around $3 and it dropped along with the rest of the markets, but it dropped down to about $1.75. But it took time for it to drop that to that point. And I was sitting there looking at that, and I'm like, this just keeps dropping and dropping and dropping. And it reminded me of what took place in 2011 with this flash crash. And I know that since we've basically lost Coinbase this type of flash crash would give you time to log in and try to place some limit orders. Now, people say they're not going to be able to have access. That may not be true for every single exchange. So this is broad, right? So what I'm getting ready to share with you, if I see this type of flash crash, I'm going to go ahead and log in where I'm already logged into my Coinbase, and I'll just try to place orders on its way down. Now, with this one, Bitcoin had reached for the day a high of like $19.76. This was on June 19th of 2011. So what I'm looking at here, this is the price where it says 5.0 and the amount of Bitcoin that is being sold on the right-hand side. Bitcoin that was being sold at that price. So it fell from $19.76 to currently $5.
Good afternoon, everyone. Time for another Bitcoin report. You are watching a crash in real time. We are down to 4.8, 4.6, 4.5, 4.4. I've been watching this since about 17. I've not seen a single uptick in this market. It's going straight down. I would be fascinated to know what news is associated with this. I'm sure we're going to find out. 3.5, 3.3, 3.2, and 3.1. Well, I'm all broken up about my $99. The main thing I'm broken up about is I could have had 33 Bitcoins. So we're going to see how low this thing goes. We're down to 2.2. And it looks like the Mt. Gox feed crashed. We are still crashing. We're at 2. And this has got to be some kind of news about Mt. Gox. Possibly that it's closed down. I don't know. We're getting feed crashes at this point. We're at 1.5. We're at 1.4. 1.3. Looks like we're going to go under $1 here. This has got to be accompanied by some kind of news. I want to wait until the market settles down here and go and look for some news. We are down to 1. And we're trying to go under 1. Notice I have not seen a positive tick. Since this began at 17, every single tick has been flat or negative. Now these are green, but the reds are sells, the greens are buys. Here we go. We're at 91 cents. We're at 90 cents. We are going all the way down. This is wild. We are down to 70 cents, 60 cents. This is the flash crash in Bitcoins. We are down to 50 cents a coin. I cannot imagine what news is accompanying to this. We're at 29 cents. We're off the charts. And here we go. We lost the Mt. Gox feed again. We still have not seen one buy. We're down to 12 cents, 11 cents, 10 cents. Wow, this is it. Feed gone again. We are down to 10 cents. We're down to 9 cents, 6 cents. We are going 5 cents. We are down to, wow. I don't know what this means, people. We are down to 1 cent. There's still no buying. Could the critics have been correct? Has the system been hacked? I don't know. We are flatlining at 1.2 cent a Bitcoin, and they're selling. People are selling 0.03 Bitcoins for less than 1 cent. I'm not really sure how that is. This is going to be the biggest story ever. And I'm just really glad to be covering this in real time. We are at, okay, now this is the first rally I've seen. There's a 70-cent tick.
All right, folks, so it had reached actually below a penny during this, and it wasn't there for very long. So when you look back and you look at your orders, right? If you have orders that are set for a dollar, 50 cents, 10 cents, all of those orders, if it was a flash crash like this, that means your orders are going to get filled more than likely at that spot if depending on how many Bitcoins are actually being dumped. Right? So this is very important because the majority of Bitcoin is held off the exchange. So if there's a flash crash today, not very many people would get Bitcoin just for the simple fact that other people have Bitcoin low by limit orders, maybe at $1 or $2 or $10 or even higher than that. And so if you are able to access what is taking place during this flash crash, you know, for me, if I was to see this on Coinbase, the first thing I'm doing, I'm going to try to log in. If I can't log in with my account or on the computer or on the phone, I'm going to try to log in to one of my family members' account, you know, try to make a purchase or whatever the case. And with that, you know, you're going to be making a decision whether or not you're going to place a limit order if you see it crashing down. And this is for any token, because this crashed from $19. Let's just say, just pick out any token that's worth $19. And during the flash crash, this happens, right? Because it's not just about Bitcoin for a flash crash. It's about all the cryptocurrencies, right? And the ones that you're invested in that you would love to benefit from if it ever went through a flash crash. I think most people, when they look at flash crash, they think of it being instant. And that does happen. That happens more on individual platforms. But I think that if we were to experience an instant flash crash that affects all cryptocurrency platforms, then there has to be some major news event that takes place that causes the markets to flash crash like that. So I know that people don't really have Coinbase as their option right now. I'm hoping that's going to change in the future. All the other platforms I'm on, I can do that except for Coinbase, and that's fine. So if this happens, it doesn't matter. I'm still in a good position anyway, and if I was to see this happen and it's happening on Coinbase, then I'm going to try to do what I can to take advantage of that. Anyways, that's all that I have for this. I thank you guys for listening. God bless.